Crank 2020, how we feeling tonight? Yeah. Listen, I don't know about y'all, but usually around this time, I'd be on the beach with my family, swimming in the ocean, waking up to the sun. And even though we can't do that right now, I feel it in my soul, and I just want to share that with you. So repeat after me, okay? Say, I just want to wake up to the sun and say, Lord, I just want to wake up to the sun and say, Lord. I just want to wake up to the sun and say, Lord. I just want to wake up to the sun. Come on, come on. I just want to wake up to the sun and say, Lord. I just want to wake up to the sun and say, Lord. I just want to wake up to the sun and say, Lord. I just want to wake up to the sun and say, Lord. Let's go.
Greetings, my name is Lee Levinson-Perrine and I'm the founder of Makers Lab. On behalf of the Makers Lab family and the Black in Space Star crew, we'd like to welcome you to Respect Her Crank, a Go-Go Herstory Showcase.
Hey y'all, I am Patience the Pilot and I am the Director of Programs for Makers Lab, and we are so excited to be here with you all today to talk about my city, your city, our city, DC, and the women that drive it. We are also super excited to have had the privilege to interview these amazing scholars who have been doing this work of creating spaces. Super excited to see your work, and thank you so much for honoring this creative space that is the historical work of DC's official music.
So with that, we hope you buckle up, enjoy the ride, and enjoy the time as we take Go-Go to space.
Greetings, space travelers. This is your captain, Samantha G speaking. Today, we are taking a much more earthly voyage than our last trip and exploring the history of a sound so near to my heart. I know that I've spent years in this spacecraft, traveling throughout the stratosphere, but I promise, I'm no alien. Before I set my sights on outer space, I was an Earth girl from around the way. I was born in DC to human parents in a human hospital that I hear now is a human Whole Foods grocery store or something. Nevertheless, go-go music has been the soundtrack to and the hallmark for my coming of age. The women who reminded me of my own reflection every time that they hit the stage. So buckle up, beloved. We're headed to DC.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Cosmic Couch with the Smithsonian's Hirshhorn ARTLAB Plus Respect Her Crank music cohort. I am so excited to be here with these lovely ladies and talking to them about their music and what they're creating with Respect Her Crank and all their amazing productions that'll be coming out, or that have come out because this will air on the 22nd. All of the amazing productions that you all have heard throughout the week. So super excited to have you. Thank you so much. And I would love it if you guys could introduce yourselves.
I'm Fabiola. I'm 19, rising junior at Georgetown University. I have been producing music for about 4 years now. I started my junior year of high school, and I've sort of just like taken off from there and built upon, from like what I learned back then. And let's see, this program actually, I came across it as an Instagram story. So it was like serendipity. Like I was just like flipping through my Instagram stories, and then I saw this and I was like, oh, this looks cool. It's a online internship. Like, let me check it out. And it turned out to be amazing. And I'm super happy that I did it. And I'm very like humbled and honored to be working with these awesome ladies now. And
Who's next?
I can go next. My name is Liv. I'm 18. I'm a freshman at Oakwood University. I've been singing my whole life because I grew up in the church, so choir and all that good stuff. But I didn't start writing and producing my own music until junior year or senior year of high school. Because when I stumbled upon ARTLAB, I came upon it like by accident, and it was just the best accident ever. I've been there for a year, and everyone's just been so dope and amazing. And I've gotten a lot of, before I got to ARTLAB, I didn't really like I made music. I was like, oh yeah, I'll harmonize like in my room by myself. But I didn't realize it was something other people wanted to hear or realize it was something I was good at. So when I came upon ARTLAB, that really kind of like low-key high-key changed my life. I don't think I would have done any sort of releasing music or anything if I hadn't come there. So it's been dope. And yeah, I love the journey.
Amazing. SDA gang in the building.
Yes. Yeah. Wait, you're SDA?
I am not, but I went to JNA and my family is SDA. So yes, a lot of Vespers and
yes, a lot of Vespers.
Saturday nights, nothing. So yes, I'm very familiar with Oakwood. I have a lot of friends at Oakwood. So yes,
it's so dope. I love it there.
Awesome.
And then I'm Mia. I'm 19. I'm going to be a junior at the University of Mary Washington this fall. I like Fabiola. I also found out about the program through like an Instagram post, and I've wanted to do stuff with ARTLAB for forever, but I live like about an hour outside of DC, so I've never been able to make it up and like physically do their programs. But I figured out like I'd apply first because it seemed cool. Like it was a remote internship, and literally just the past 5 weeks getting to make music with and learn from women of color has been like one of the best experiences of my life, because I feel like everything I've learned about music production, I've been like, it's been mansplained to me by like, straight white men. And so getting to work with these ladies for the past 5 weeks has been amazing.
That's awesome. This is my first time hearing your voice, and I just want you to know, I really love it. You came in strong, and I was so ready. I didn't know what to expect. This is my first time.
Thank you.
We've been on the call for at least 10 minutes, and this is my first time. I love it. It came in strong. It makes me happy.
Thank you.
Don't mind me. I'm a little weird. Okay. So it's so great to have you. Thank you so much for introducing yourself. You told us a little bit about how you found out about ARTLAB and a little bit about your experience. So what was it like being in this music cohort, and what tools did you all use to create the productions that you all are creating? Because we know go-go is a very live, there's some digital elements, but it's a very live performance culture. And so y'all are creating go-go based works. What was it like in this cohort creating this work from a strictly digital space? I'm assuming.
I think like with a lot of the technology we have now, it's like a lot easier to emulate like live sound digitally, which is super nice. But I think our biggest, I wouldn't say challenge because we killed it, frankly. But our biggest thing we had to figure out was doing the collaborative track, because on the EP, we each did our own song, and then we did one song where we all like worked together. And so finding a good DAW, or like a digital audio workspace, where we could all edit it and kind of work together at the same time was like one thing we had to figure out. But we ended up using Soundtrap, which is by the developers of Spotify. So it's a browser-based DAW. So we were able to like update it pretty frequently. And it's like for what a browser-based DAW is, it was pretty good for like what we needed. But yeah, just in general, like being a part of the music cohort has been so fun. Like the three of us, like we have our little group chat, and we'll just like during the calls or anything, we'll text each other like, oh my gosh, did you hear what Janae just said? Or like little things like that. And so it's like, that's been a lot of fun. And it's made it feel a lot more like an in-person thing, because we get to have our little like side chats and things like that and just text each other on the off hours and stuff. But it's been a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Can I add a little something?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think one challenge, especially with go-go, since it is like a live-based music genre, was the drums. Like that was one thing that was super difficult to recreate like digitally. So thankfully, like Janae and Amber found us some really good like loops that we could use that were like recorded live. So we were able to like get that live sounding drum. But if it weren't for that, like that probably would have got us stuck for a while.
Yeah. When I applied for the program, I didn't realize like I was gonna be producing and singing, because I I should have known, because they were like producers and singers, like apply. And when I applied for the School of Hip Hop, like they paired us with a producer who would make the track, and then we sang over it. So I thought that was gonna be the same thing. Then I showed up the first day, and Janae and Amber were like, "We chose y'all because y'all are both producers and singers," and I was like, "Oh, kind of." I guess like I can produce, but I think vocal arrangement definitely is my strong suit. And so then I'm from Texas, so I never, go-go was not like, it's not second nature to me. So I was like, I'm gonna produce, which is already like a little bit of a stretch for you, girl. And now I'm producing go-go music. Like, this is a lot. And so that was definitely like a little stressful, but I'm glad they did it that way because it pushed me kind of out of my comfort zone. And I had to like really sit there and be like, I can't just be like, no, I'm just singing. Sorry, it'll be an a cappella go-go track. Like, that's not what can happen. So
Let's find a loop pedal. Let's
I literally remember looking at Janae and being like, I don't want to just like add a conga and say it's go-go. I'm struggling here. Like, what do I do? But I've definitely grown a lot from the program because I just had to push myself, and Fabiola and Mia really helped me out, told me what I should add to my track and all this good stuff. So it's been a great collaborative process, and they're so dope and supportive. So it's been amazing.
Y'all seem like I had so much
honestly.
fun.
Yeah, like the whole collaborative aspect and just like being with these ladies really made this feel, like Mia said, like it didn't even feel like it was virtual just because we were able to connect and like really like bond, which is something that I found I couldn't do over Zoom like in past programs and stuff that I've done. But this was just awesome. Yeah.
Music actually really does that. Like, music is, especially creating it, it's definitely a binder. It is the eggs of all things. Music is the binder. So I'm super excited. I love how passionate and excited you all are about this project. And I know, Liv, you are from Texas. I'm not sure where you are from, Fabiola or Emia, but what was your experience with actual go-go before Respect Her Crank? So I know, Liv, when you're not from here, it's a little different. It's a little different experience. But what was you all's experience before Respect Her Crank?
For me,
yeah.
Oh, sorry. For me, honestly, it was very limited. I hadn't really like heard about go-go until I got to college and like studying in at a DC school. It came up a lot in my music classes, but it was always just like very brief. It was just like, oh, go-go's like the genre of DC. And like, oh, it's funk, but that's really all I heard about it. I didn't really know what it was. So entering like this program, I was honestly kind of like nervous because I was like, how am I going to produce a go-go track? Like, I don't know go-go. But honestly, it's been so great just like listening to go-go and like getting more acquainted with it and meeting like these awesome musicians who are very important to go-go has really like helped immerse me into it. And it definitely helped a lot when like creating this track.
Yeah, and like similar to Fabiola, like I didn't know that much about it. Like I spent my first year of school like in Michigan, so I did not learn about anything like go-go related at all in my music classes. But I had heard like a few go-go songs here and there, but it's like growing up so close to DC, it's like I've never like been to any like go-go shows or anything like that. So my like knowledge was also super limited, but having like the nature of the program was super helpful in that like the first few weeks, like it was very front heavy in like lessons on like the history of go-go and the elements of it. So we were like, because I think all of us at the beginning were like, so what is go-go? So getting to actually learn was very helpful in us putting our tracks together.
It's awesome.
Yeah. I said that before, but I'll just say it again. I am from Texas, so I did not know about go-go, like, period. Like, it just wasn't a thing in Texas. When Andre said they were doing a go-go program, the first thing that popped into my head was like go-go dancing. And I was like, ARTLAB does dance now. That's fun. So when I realized, I talked to my dad and he was like, no, go-go is like the DC music, like you should look it up. And so first thing that came up was Chuck Baby by Chuck Brown, and that song slaps. And I was like, oh yes, it's so good. And so I heard that and I was like, oh, I'm going to do that when it comes in. And so I just kind of listened to the different types. I just listened to a lot of Chuck Brown online because his music is so good. Yeah. But when I was looking around, like they were talking about women in go-go, and I noticed there wasn't a lot of women like that were prominent in go-go, at least like publicized. Like when you Google it, it's just like a bunch of different types of men. And I was like, ooh, really excited to learn about like different types of women in go-go. And through the program, we've just met so many dope women in go-go. And I was like, they need to be more popular. Like, what's going on? Like Miss Yendi, like Shante, like Black Alley. Oh my goodness, Black Alley. Like
Casey's
she's
amazing.
so talented. And it's just and their community, it's in itself reminds me a lot of like what Mia, Fabiola, and I have like gained through the program, and just watching them interact, I'm like, oh, we do that in Zoom calls too. Like, that's so cute for us. So yeah.
Yes. It's really beautiful to see women who are also studying this. That's what's already a niche genre of music. It is it's not small, but it is a very niche genre of music, right? That is growing, and then it has been growing for years and years and years. But it's great to see women studying an even more niche, like, sect of people inside of this genre. And it's lovely that you all got to connect, because I'm from here. And so Casey and Miss Cherie, they're legends, right? Like, they are legends in our world. And so it's great that you all get to experience and learn from them and hear from them and create based on what they're doing. And so, talking more about this being a niche genre already, you all worked with the 3D cohort, right? You all work with Grace in the 3D cohort. So I had the pleasure of seeing her work yesterday and also interviewing the whole 3D cohort. But her 3D room is phenomenal. All of the 3D rooms are phenomenal, right? And hers is really lovely. And I love this vault, this idea of a vault, and that you all are cracking this vault, kind of opening this vault by going into. Have y'all seen the 3D space? Am I like?
It's
okay,
so no,
yes, no,
so
it's
dope.
awesome.
So like this vault, and like you all kind of talked about kind of cracking into this vault. What was that experience like working with the 3D cohort and seeing the vision come together with this interdisciplinary work? You all are new to, some of you are new to doing the music part of it, right? And then to add to that, you're working on this 3D space and giving input to the 3D space. So what was your experience like with that?
I liked how, well, first of all, when Grace told me like she'd never done any sort of 3D design before, I was like, what? This is amazing. Like, you're lying. This is not true. And I just love how, so like, she was very collaborative. The first 3D meeting we had, like, with everything, she was like, what do y'all think of this? Like, do y'all know what this is? Like, does this speak to y'all? I know y'all have been studying go-go. Like, how does this work within it? Do y'all think it coincides with your vision for what you're doing? And she even like made sure we were able to like insert our own music throughout the whole thing. And like, she was very like adamant in wanting to use our tracks as, because they're like actual go-go musicians' music that she could have used. And she was like, no, I want y'all's tracks. Like, give them to me. I want them in there. And she let us like design our own little avatars and all that good stuff. It was just very collaborative. And I like that, because I really just thought it was going to be like, I showed up and I was like, oh, cool, this is what it is. But she just checked everything with us and made sure like we were cool with everything that was going on. And of course we were, because she's amazing and dope, and it just looks phenomenal. I can't wait for everybody to see that, because she put her foot into that one. It's amazing.
And yesterday she kept saying, I'm not an artist, and I was like, that's not real. That's not that's not a thing. You're definitely an artist.
Yeah, she was saying how like she's really into research, and I think that definitely came into play because like she already came into this knowing a lot about go-go. And then I guess she took like her research skills and like, you know, use that with like our interests, our visions and stuff, and like really knew how to implement everything. So like Liv said, it was definitely like very collaborative, which I was surprised about as well. But she worked really hard to like make our vision come to the light and like to bring go-go, which is again like this live genre, into this virtual space. And she's doing it really well, and she did it really well. And for it to be like her first time also working with 3D was awesome, just to like see it all happen. Like every time we came into the space, like it was different and there was something new to it, and it was just awesome seeing the progression of it.
Lovely. And I should have taken a note, but it was something that one of you all said that actually reminded me that you all work together, and seeing that vault and just like thinking about you all just talking about how this is just, a space that is, it's under, y'all might not have said this might have been something that I've taken, forgive me, taken some liberties, but thinking about what you all have said and just thinking about how this music, right, is it's so powerful and it's so amazing, and not a lot of people know about it. And if you are not privy to that space, it is like you have to have a code to get in. You kind of have to you have to know where to look for it. You have to know where to find it. And so the merging of those two spaces, the music space and the 3D space, y'all did that. Y'all absolutely did that thing. So want to say that. And so you all told me a little bit about your previous experience with go-go, where you've had it. Has it changed? Has it changed you at all, or has Respect Her Crank changed you and your relationship to go-go music? Like, I know it's not everybody loves it, but has this experience changed your relationship to it?
I definitely.
sure.
I will be adding congas to any song I ever make for the rest of my life. Like, I was like, just the beat in itself, like that drum beat, just you feel it in your like, it just makes you want to. I don't know.
It's
I
so
can't even put
moving.
it into words. Yes, it's just you have to. There's nothing else, and
Yeah.
just the live aspect of it all, and how just seeing how like go-go, like a really big thing within the go-go community is just the energy between the artists and the people, and just kind of making sure you're connecting with everybody. I just love the community aspect of it so much. I definitely came out of this program with a really, really, really big respect for go-go musicians, because they have to improvise so much and keep that energy on 100 the whole time. And I get winded after like a 3-minute song. So it's amazing just seeing how they work together and the musicality of it all. Like listening to Miss Cherie talk about just the brilliant musicians within like her group and everything, and seeing how they work together and how they come up with things, and their minds like merging different types of genres, and just the whole genre is so beautiful, and the musicianship and the artistry within the whole thing is just, it's so dope. And so I have a great respect for go-go now.
And for me, it's kind of like how Liv was saying. We learned a lot about connecting, like, to the community. For me, like, this is gonna sound like the most cheesy hippie thing ever, but it helped me like better learn to connect with myself musically, because I do a lot of covers. Like, I used to play in like a cover band in high school, but I doing this program and learning about go-go has helped me put a lot more of myself into the music. Like my track that I did, like, with go-go, there's a lot of like shout outs and things like that to like other musicians and things that are personal to you. So my track was super personal to me. If you'll hear it, it's like, you can definitely like that. I feel like that definitely like shines through. And that's something that I've not previously had the like confidence to put in my music before.
I love to see it. That gave me chills. I love to see it.
Yeah, definitely.
Not cheesy.
Basically what they all said, and especially like that one thing that Mia said, where like this honestly gave me a lot more confidence in my music, because prior to this I was kind of like shy about sharing my music. I was shy about like doing any type of like shout out or stuff in my music, and here I kind of just had to like get out of my comfort zone, and like we had to show our songs to like these professional go-go musicians, and then we had to like implement like different aspects of go-go and stuff like that, which are things that I never would have thought of doing. But after doing it, I'm like, oh, this is okay. Like, I can do this. I can share my music with people, and it's fine, and they're going to support me. So I learned a lot from this program. I'm very thankful that I was able to do it, and very thankful to everyone who was a part of it.
Yeah, you all had some amazing mentors too, like Amber Mimz. I'm going to name drop because this sounds real bougie, but I've known Amber for a long time. And I've called Amber my favorite piece of art for years and years and years. And because she's a walking piece of art, right? And
Literally,
so
yeah.
just everything about her is art. And so you all had Janae and Amber, and you all got to experience like Casey and Miss Cherie and all of these amazing folks who have honed their craft. And it shows, even in this interview, I haven't had the pleasure of listening to the work yet, which I'm so excited to do. But even in this interview, the way that you all are shining and the passion that you all are bringing to talking about your work, it is beautiful, and also a part of the art, right? It's a part of creating. A lot of people think they can do this when they're making, right? Like we can hide behind the microphone or hide behind the, Adobe or, Logic and all of those things. We can't always do that. And so this gives us the opportunity to have these conversations and come and show how freaking passionate you are about the amazing work that you have created. The time we spent away. There goes the love I had, but you cheated on me, and that's worth that now. There goes the house we made at home. There goes you'll never leave me alone. For all the lies you told, this is what you owe. Hey lady, yeah. A queen of go-go once told me you gotta know your worth and add tax. Do you know your worth? Yeah. Did you add tax? Yeah. Respect yourself, respect your worth, and most importantly, you gotta respect your crank. Hey ladies, when your man wanna get fuck wild, just go back and hit him up style. Put your hands on his cash and spend it to the last time for all the hard times. There goes the dreams we used to say. So you and me. But you cheated on me, and that's worth that now. Hey ladies, when your man wanna get fuck wild, let's go back and hit him up style. Put your hands on his cash and spend it to the last time for all the hard times. There goes the time we spent away. So you and me. But you cheated on me, and that's worth that now. Can you pay my bills? Can you pay my bills? Pay up my telephone bills. I done my bills. Oh, there goes the dreams we used to say. So you and me. But you cheated on me, and that's worth that now.
It's confusing, you're confused, why you're wasting your time. Got you all fired up with your Napoleon complex. See right through you like you're bathing in Windex. Ooh, so why are you so obsessed with me?
A little further on, I got into more songwriting with a few artists. And one of the songs I was fortunate enough to be a part of was very special to me because it was kind of an accident how it was formed, but it was magic. And this song was the song that happened to be nominated for a Grammy. But the way it came about was a total shock and actually very humbling and a blessing. So I got the honor to work with the godfather of go-go, Chuck Brown, who is always going to be probably one of my favorite people in this industry. They called me at the last minute and said, hey, we just need a favor. Can you come in and lay down these vocals? And I was like, okay. And I thought it was just going to be a few people there at the studio. And as I'm learning the song, and that's another thing about songwriting, you have to be ready when they call you. I had never heard the song, and I learned that song literally in a few minutes. And anyway, so when it was time to record, they were very particular about how it needed to sound because I was referencing this song for another artist. And that's the difference. When you're working on your own music, you can do whatever you want to do. When you are writing or singing for someone else, they are very particular, and that is important about the job. So anyway, I went to record, and Chuck walked in, and that probably was the highlight of my life because he is not only very encouraging while I'm singing, he's yelling over the track. But to make a long story short, that song was life-changing for me because Miss Jill Scott, who was the other artist on the song, was very, very kind to me, and she was very vocal about my performance on the song, and she let them know pretty much, hey, I love what she did. Just keep her on the song. And that's how I was able to be nominated for a Grammy with such great artists. So I'm going to let you guys hear some of this song as well, and I hope you enjoy it.
Right, well, everything, it was cooking, you know, all this hot music in the street, all this hot new music.
Oh, Chuck is so classic.
Okay, we are here live at Q Studios in Falls Church, Virginia, with some amazingly talented women. Okay, so to my left, I have Lil Boogie on percussion. To my right, I have Twink on the drums. And to my far right, I have Miss Cherie on keys and vocals. And I'm excited to have this type of conversation with you all because this is such a different setting. I'm glad that we're able to be in the studio for this. And I really just want to kind of get a little bit of insight on the musicality behind Go-Go. I really want to start with what in the world made all three of you say, yo, this is exactly what I want to do. There's no reason why I can't do it. What was going through your mind? What was maybe the scenario? How did it get started?
All right, so from a go-go perspective, let's see. Growing up in this area, being a musician, it's kind of hard to not play go-go or because you're exposed to it. Like I was exposed to go-go, Run Joe, Pleasure, you know what I mean? So at an early age, I was already, before I even started playing drums, I was already exposed to go-go. So it was something sort of like, I used to try to fight it, like, no, I'm not gonna play go-go. I want to be like that typical thing. But I was kind of drawn to it. I started senior year, 17. At the time, Northeast Groovers had broken up and they wanted to do the grown and sexy. So I started playing for solo. I would go to school, go to my little cheerleading game, because I was a cheerleader. I would play for the pep band, and then I would go either to band practice or I would go to the show. My mama used to be with me, Mad Chef Cafe. We used to be everywhere, U Street, everywhere. My mama would be with me, 16, 17, and I'm in the club playing with grown men. Yeah, but I love it. Like it's an energy that you cannot get this anywhere else. And I've played, all over the United States. I played outside of the country, and it's just the energy that go-go brings, that feel. It's hard to replicate.
So I started, as Twink said, she started young in the club too. But I started off watching class and quality bands. Those were one of the bands besides Chuck. Who were back in the day, you were little when you heard go-go, and they played real fast. And I was like, okay. And, me and my girlfriend were best friends. In the basement, she played drums, and I wanted to play congas, and we just replicate everything that they did when they had rehearsal. And that's how I started playing. And it was back in the day with the old bands, Class and Quality Band, back then, Air Raid, and those are bands that play real fast. So that's what made us start playing.
Now, I want to hear Cherie.
I basically had a late start in go-go. I wasn't allowed to go to go-go's as a kid, and my parents, they were very strict, so I didn't have the opportunity or the advantages as my friends in school to just go to go-go's and go to go-go live. That was just a huge thing. So I listened to a lot of go-go because it was all over the radio, Chuck Brown and Red Essence, EU, and all of them. You hear it on the radio all the time. But it wasn't until I played with Maisha and the Hip Huggers, and I was in my twinkling 20s at the time. So, yeah, I started late. And so once I played with those guys, I was like, wow, I really had like a lesson playing go-go. It's not as easy as what people think. You know, it's all about timing. It's all about rhythm. It's all about feel. You know, some of the greatest musicians, they come here and they just sit back in awe like, wow, I can't play that go-go. I can't play that go-go beat, you know, because it's all about just keeping it in the pocket, you know, and I love that. I love the energy. I love the soulfulness. So that was my first time just playing with the hip huggers. It was Juju and Sugar Bear. They were all from EU. And so they just, you know, treated me like their little sister, you know, and I learned so much. I learned how to play Lock It, you know. I thought I was doing something, but no, I from funk, you know, and then I played with Chuck Brown after that. And so, you know, go-go is just a part of me.
There's a pain, see you walk in my direction, I go the other way. I start to stutter when I